this.
There, well, Storm Franklin has been named. It'll affect us, our part of the world, around rush hour tomorrow morning. Could prove very tricky indeed, especially for Transpennine routes. Gusts of 70 miles an hour expected at the coast and more exposed spots as well. And there's a warning for heavy rain today, which runs through till 6 o'clock. Quite a lively area of heavy, persistent rain. You can see a couple of threads in here, mostly affecting parts of Manchester. Also, Liverpool may be affected there. We've got strong winds as well, gusts of 30, 40 miles an hour inland, but 40 mile an hour gusts at the coast. The Isle of Man will be affected too, and things will turn colder during the afternoon as that rain moves through. Then during the course of this evening, blustery showers expected, 1 or 2 clearer spells, some sleet and snow over the tops, and then heavy persistent rain through the early hours of the morning. By rush hour, so say 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. Hello there, very good evening to you. Well, now, it was a bit wild at the coast today, but I'm afraid it's going to get worse before it gets better. Storm Franklin is on its way in, the third named storm in less than a week, which really is quite unprecedented. Northern Ireland will bear the brunt of that, but then it's us, and there's an amber warning in force for the Isle of Man for strong gusts of wind, 70, 75 mile an hour gusts till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, which could transfer then to Lancashire and Merseyside coasts. Now, I think the commute is going to be really tricky in the morning, up to about 6 o'clock. By 8 or 9, it should be starting to improve, but it's not going to be very pleasant at all. Now, Franklin's very different from Eunice. Franklin's already formed, already at its peak, so it's not going to escalate any further, but there's a really tight squeeze on the isobars on the southern flank of that, so that's why we'll feel those strong winds as it moves through, and then it'll be away quite quickly out into the North Sea. So for the next few hours, we're expecting a few blustery showers to blow through. They could turn to sleet or snow at height. A little bit of a respite around midnight before a spell of heavy persistent rain pushes through in the early hours. The wind really starts to whip up, especially through the Irish Sea there, as I say, but widely gusts of 50, 60 miles an hour as we head towards tomorrow morning, especially for those Transpennine routes as well. Sun's up at 7:18. It's going to be a nasty start to the day, as I've outlined. Improving later, more in the way of sunshine and those winds moderating through the day. Bye-bye.
Weather.
Hello there, now for the weather across our part of the world in a bit more detail. And it was a bit lively at the coast today, but I'm afraid it's going to get worse before it gets better. Storm Franklin on its way in and making trouble for the rush hour commute tomorrow morning. Now, Franklin's the third named storm in less than a week. It really is quite unprecedented. There's an amber warning for strong winds in force for the Isle of Man till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Gusts of 70, 75 miles an hour, which could transfer to Lancashire and Merseyside coasts as well. And widely, gusts of 40, 50 miles an hour inland, possibly stronger as well for Transpennine routes. Now, Franklin's different from Eunice. It formed up over Iceland there. It's at its peak already, so it's not going to escalate any further. But there's a really tight squeeze on the southern flank with those isobars, and so that's why we get the strong winds as it moves through. But as you can see, it quickly moves out and away into the North Sea. Rewinding to the next few hours, we had a few blustery showers earlier on. A little bit of a respite around midnight, but then a spell of heavy, persistent rain moving through during the early hours. The wind starting to whip up as well, as you can see. And Northern Ireland bears the brunt of it, but then it's us. Now, the sun's up tomorrow at 7:18. It's going to be a nasty start to the day. We think the strongest winds will occur before 6 in the morning. By 8 or 9 o'clock should be starting to improve. Be careful how you go on that commute. By the afternoon, more sunshine, the winds moderating through the day, then a bit showery on Tuesday. Bye-bye.